Okay, hello guys. This is Subscallion2 here. Um, gonna go over my unit types at the moment. My units identification system. Because I do not have all the units for Global War 1940 and 1936 V4. So I have chips to help me uh, identify different units because I only have units for Axonized 1940 Global, as well as a few 3D printed pieces I've printed, as you can see here. So I'm kind of going to go over that. I don't have a lot of the pieces for the game, so I'm using chips to help me identify them. So let me get started. Um, yeah, I'm going to start off here. I use Lego 1x1 here, various colors. An entire box of Legos I got to grab from, so they'll be of most colors such as yellow, bright red, uh, blue, black, white, and so on. So that's what the militia will be. Regular infantry will just be an infantry. The regular infantry without a chip, no chip. So that will represent my infantry. Now this, I use a black chip to identify the Marines. So an infantry with a black chip is a Marine. An infantry with a pink chip is an elite airborne infantry. An infantry with a blue chip is just a regular airborne infantry. And an infantry with a white chip is a mountain infantry. Now I have some risk pieces here. You can see this is blue. That will represent my foreign legion. So risk infantry will represent foreign region for the French. And this will represent Garakas for the FEC. So next, let's go on to the vehicle class. I got the regular risk cavalry for that, so it'll be like dark gray as well as some dark green, light red, so forth. So I'll be using the same cavalry for pretty much several nations. The only way you'll really be able to identify whose it is by the controlling player of the territory. So next I have a motorized infantry. This is technically an advanced mechanized infantry, but I only have this model for America. So it'll represent the motorized, and then a motorized with a black chip will be the mechanized infantry, and then a pink chip, advanced mechanized. Now as far as Germany goes, I had some motorized infantry printed. So I used the motorized and chips to represent mechanized and advanced mechanized, and then the regular, the Axis and Allies print here will represent the SS Panzer Grenadiers, if that's what they're still called. I think there was some rule change like that, but anyway, this next one will be the light tank. So it will Lego 2x1 will represent the light tank. Tank without a chip underneath will represent my medium, except for Russia, which Russia has its own T-34, and so I printed some T-28s for them, so they have mediums and T-34s. And for heavies, the nations I don't have 3D printed heavies, I will be using a regular medium with a pink chip that will represent the heavies. And then as far as tank destroyers go, I have Russia's 3D printed here at the moment. But for the rest of the nations, I'll be using a tank with a white chip underneath. So next I have artillery. Now I know they're coastal artillery aren't really supposed to look like this, but this will be my regular artillery here. And artillery with a pink chip will be the advanced artillery, and artillery with a white chip will be the coastal artillery. Now, as far as Russia goes with the Katyushas, this is just a regular artillery, and this will be the advanced artillery, since this is a 45 pack gun, and this is 105, I think, guns. So this will represent the advanced artillery. But for Katyushas, I'll put a pink chip underneath the advanced artillery, so that the Russians can have their own special artillery here. And since I don't have too many of these printed so far, so hope that I made that clear there. So let's move on to aircraft. So here I have a regular fighter. So that's just a little fighter without a chip. The seaplane will be represented by a fighter with a black chip underneath, and the jet fighters will be a fighter with a white chip underneath. This will be a tactical, since historically SBD-3 was a tactical bomber, and the tactical with the black chip underneath will represent the medium bomber. Oh god, I need to center that on there. And so next we have the strategic bomber. I'm going to use a strategic bomber with a black chip underneath to represent the heavy strategic bombers. Here I have I put a pink chip underneath one of them to make a air transport, and then with a white chip underneath, it's a heavy air transport. Okay, so that should work that out. As far as Japan goes, I've had a lot of units printed for them, so they'll have their regular artillery, and then you'll see I have an artillery right here somewhere. Yes, okay, so that'll be their regular artillery, and this will be their advanced artillery. I have their self-propelled artillery and their advanced self-propelled artillery here. And I also have their motorized, mechanized, and advanced mechanized right here. So that's their advanced mech. And I also have the light tank for Japan. So Japan's light tank is represented by this one, their medium is this one, and their tank destroyer is here. I don't have their heavy tank yet, but I will at one point soon. So I've got Russia's heavy tank printed here, it's KV2. And as far as Germany's Tiger 1, I've got that printed as well. So I don't have to go putting another chip under a German tank to do that. I will be getting pieces as the game progresses, so I will update you on what I have printed newly, so you don't have to worry about that or whatnot. I'll show you the mold I got for that. But let's go ahead and move on to naval units. So here I'm using, for torpedo boat destroyers, they're mostly just going to look like this. Focus, yes. So just a little torpedo boat. For Japan, I have a special mold for them for the moment. Looks something like this. So that's Japan's mold. Coastal defense ships will be represented by a Lego 4x1. So if you see any Lego 4x1s like here, it won't be rather difficult to decipher from the neutrals as far as Britain goes, because I don't have any tan 4x1s for them. I might actually have to print that. I mean, no, not print, paint. But I'll probably have a British coastal defense sooner or later. So anyway, for now, I'll make sure to decipher between whose is British and whose is neutral. As far as transports go, it's just a transport without a chip is just a regular transport, and then an attack transport will be a transport with a black chip underneath. As far as our subs go, a regular sub will be just a sub without a chip. Coastal subs will be with a black chip underneath, and advanced subs will have a pink underneath. I don't think there are many different types. I think there's just one destroyer, so you'll see this for destroyers. This will be the light cruiser for the moment. I have a Japanese mold for the moment already, so we don't have to. I don't have to worry about that for Japan. And then their Takao will represent their heavy cruiser. Otherwise, I'm using a blue chip underneath a light cruiser to represent my heavy cruiser, and a cruiser with a pink chip to represent the battle cruiser. Next, I've got a carrier. So this is a light carrier. I just have like this something. It looks. I don't know what I was thinking when I tried it out, but hey, it works out for me. I can decipher it between literally any other unit. So this will be what my light carriers look like. I'll obviously have different colors for them for each nation if I can. I mean, Russia and Japan will probably have just red ones for the moment until I get some. Oh, wait, no. Japan already has one printed. So, yeah, that'll be the light carrier. I have a Japanese light carrier printed here. So, I actually don't have to worry about Japan. Next, I've got just the regular fleet carrier. It's just a carrier without a chip. And then my heavy carrier will be a carrier with a pink chip underneath. As far as battleships go, I'll just have the regular battleship without a chip and the heavy battleship with a black chip underneath. Okay, I think I got most everything I need to do. Now, as far as Russia goes, I have some Plum CCP air transports. I don't know what I was thinking when I was buying it, but they've come to use recently. I've been using them for Russia's for the moment, so you might see some Plum aircraft in Russia. Those will just be representing like the medium bomber and fighter whatnot.